Hey. Uh-oh.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey,
I was
hey,
just getting up to text you for something. You just disappeared for some
there
reason.
you are. Oh, we're on. We're live, man. We're
Cool.
here. Technical difficulties, always.
Difficulties, yeah.
Always, always. Hey, everybody, this is Johnny Beane and Rob Johnson. Hopefully, everybody can hear and see us. We're live here on November 16th, 2020, 6:37 p.m. where Rob is, Eastern Time, 3:37 p.m. out here. And there's the technical difficulties happening again. But hey, welcome. Rob and I, or looks like just me. Oh, there you are. Rob Johnson. We're gonna talk
Yeah,
about.
I keep bouncing out for some reason. I don't know if my internet,
I don't know. Just got to keep going.
Can you hear me?
I hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? It's like the old days.
Can you hear me?
Leave a thumbs up. I hear you. It's like our first time ever doing a video. Can you hear me?
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if anybody can hear me or not. I think my internet.
We hear you. We hear you. We hear you. We hear you. You can't hear me though.
Okay.
Here,
I don't know why my internet keeps bouncing in and out. It was fine right up until we went live, of course.
Well, I mean that's what always happens. Can you hear me now?
Never fails.
Can you hear me okay? No, I don't think he can hear me. All right. Hang on.
Kind of
This should not be
choppy.
embarrassing. Rob,
I can, but then
back
you
in.
cut out. If this keeps up, I'll just switch over to my phone. It must be something with my computer. I don't know why.
Yeah, switch to your phone. Same link. All right.
How are we now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. Check your phone.
So how you doing?
Good. Can you hear me? Oh, okay. There he goes. Always happens. Anyway, welcome everybody. No, this is not embarrassing at all because, I've been doing these enough where, stuff happens. But hey, Rob is going to be back and we're going to talk about. If you guys saw the video I did last night, I talked about the new Wolfgang Van Halen debut single. And this morning, I'm reading. Wolfgang was on the Howard Stern show. So we're going to talk about that. Amazing interview. But while we're waiting for Rob, let's thank our channel members here on YouTube. Actually, the executive producers like Charles Green, Joe Christian, Thomas Santiago, Music Therapy Laz, Bent Tom, Mike Neese, Frank Corcoran, Michael Smith, David Ennis, Dad Halen, and Steve Carmichael. They are the executive producers of this channel, of these videos. And if you'd like to become an executive producer, click the join button. It's right down below. You become a channel member, a sponsor of the channel, like Mr. BHP, like Bruce and Steve Carmichael. I see you guys. All right, so we're gonna wait for Rob. But what else? Let's see who's here. Who's watching us? Bruce is here. Steve Carmichael, of course. Thrash Metal and Fun Riffs. Bobby Sanders on Facebook. Yeah, we're live on Facebook as well. Halface. Jared. Hey, Jared Frost. Hey, good to see you, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, that was. Yeah, we'll get into that, or I'll get into that if Rob doesn't come back. And this video is his idea. That's how it always happens. Okay, here he is. All right, he's on his phone. I'm getting dizzy. Can you hear me? I can't see your face. Put the phone on like a phone book or something. Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, that's cleaner. That's much cleaner.
All right. Hold on, I'm gonna stack it up
Except
here
it's
a little bit.
too
Hold on.
short.
Yeah, I had to switch over to my phone. I've never had internet problems for whatever reason. It's not cooperating tonight, so.
Yeah, well, you can't, that's when you go live. That's how it is. You can't,
That's how it always is.
you never know. You never know what's going to happen.
All right, here we go.
So, hey, man.
What's happening?
Hey, dude. Yeah. I was just saying hello to everybody watching. Thomas Santiago, Edwin Crane, Vista Light 1972, Bo Bolware, Brian Spalding, Jeff Alexander. A lot of people. We got 50, 51, 50, 50,
50, 51.
51 50s. Love all of you. Sandra, Fender Guru. Good to see you guys. So yes. So just to bring everybody back up to speed, Wolfgang Van Halen released a single. Actually, technically, it came out last night. I heard it last night. I did a live video last night talking about it, talking about how he was going to be on the Howard Stern show this morning. And then I wake up this morning, and I don't have stuff. I don't have XM radio, so
I don't either.
So I couldn't hear it live, but I was asleep. It was at like 6 a.m. my time.
Right.
But anyway, somebody was kind enough on Twitter to offer to send me the show, like literally after it was done. He recorded it and then sent it to me.
Yeah.
So as soon as I got up, I got to hear it, the entire thing, and it was amazing. A lot of the stuff that they talked about in that interview, we'll talk about today. And yeah, it was just incredible. So who in the chat has heard the song or seen the video? That's the other thing. There's a very, very special music video to the song as well. And we'll get into that. But who in the chat, who watching us right now on Facebook and YouTube has seen the video, has heard the song? Let us know in the chat. Man. So Rob, can you hear me?
I hear you. Yeah, finally. How you doing, Johnny?
I'm great.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was lucky. I had Anthony Sajazi set me up this morning too, because I don't have XM radio either. But yeah, Anthony set us up, me and Hubbard up last night, so we could check it out this morning. And I was off today, so it was perfect. So I got up and made some coffee, and I was a little bit late. I think I was like maybe 10 minutes late. But when I got on, I just reset it and started, so I heard it from the beginning to the end. Yeah, it was definitely pretty powerful. Now, I mean, the songs were obviously very powerful. We can talk about those too, but the interview itself was just amazing. Wolfgang definitely clarified some really cool stuff, and he's obviously still struggling very hard with the death of his dad. But
Yes.
What I think the thing that hit me the most about it, we can talk about it, is how much of a incredibly level-headed young man he is. I mean, he's just so well-spoken. He's so he's very balanced. He's very level-headed and just an incredibly talented kid. It's just, he's amazing.
Well, people still call him a kid, but he's 30 years old.
Yeah, he's 29 years old.
People don't realize that.
It's funny. Howard said to me, he goes, "So you still living at the studio?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "I'm 29. I actually live on my own house." Howard was like, "Yeah, I get that." That was funny.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great, man. I loved hearing hearing Howard for one thing. I've always been a huge
Yeah,
fan of his, and his interviews are they're just so so laid back,
yeah,
you know, and that's kind of like what we do here, kind of. I mean, that's same type, you know, same
right.
type of thing. Hopefully, I didn't just disappear. There I am.
You're there.
Yeah, yeah. My internet's weird.
Yeah, you blurted there for a second, but then you
Yeah,
came
I
back.
saw it. I saw it. Hopefully, let me know. Let me know. Don't panic though. If I disappear, just don't panic. Just keep going. Just
Keep going.
keep going. And at Frag 5150, thank you so much for the channel membership. Thank you, thank you. Um, but yeah, yeah. Listening to Howard Stern was great. But listening to Wolfgang, you know, I'd never heard. You'd seen little interview clips of him over the years, you
Right.
know, with Tremonti, and then, you know, with Edward, you know, here and there. Um, but never anything this you know, in depth,
Right.
you know.
Yeah, he addressed a lot, and I was really impressed how well he opened up, you know, to Howard. And of course, Howard's tamed down a lot over the years. You know, he used to be pretty hardcore, and he would get people really, you know, he would instigate things very, you know, he was really good at that. I think that's why a lot of people liked him, you know, and that's why I liked Howard. But it's interesting at the same time, you know, Howard was very, very respectful today with Wolfgang, you know, especially considering what had happened. And I
Yeah.
thought that you know, him and Robin, and you know, they handled the interview great, and they asked some really cool questions. You know.
By the way, spoiler alert, we're gonna talk about everything they talked about. So if you haven't heard it yet, you know, if you want to hear it, you should probably listen to it first before
Right.
listening to this. But no, we're gonna talk about a lot of the stuff that was talked about. Some of it was very surprising. Some of it we kind of knew. Some
Yeah.
of it we kind of suspected over the years.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't know.
What was the coolest thing that you thought about the interview, Johnny? What was the coolest thing in your opinion uh, that Wolfgang talked about? Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be. Well, I mean, it's obviously all Van Halen related because it was discussion of him and his dad. But what, in your opinion, what was the coolest thing that he talked about that you thought?
Man, I only heard the interview one time. I only listened once all the way through because it's over an hour. What was it, an
Yeah,
hour and a half? How
yeah,
long
yeah.
was it? It was pretty long. It
Yeah, you
was
have to listen to it a couple of times, I would think, to take it all in. I also only heard it once, and I'm looking forward to hearing it again. You know,
yeah. Um, I think the coolest thing that I heard was Wolfgang saying that his dad was just a regular person.
yeah,
Because that's something I've said all these years. After I met him, I tell people he's just a regular dude, and people would give me a lot of crap for that, you know. But to hear Wolfgang say it, that he's like, "Oh, Eddie, he's just a regular human being,"
yeah,
that really, I thought that was really cool.
yeah. When you see the video too of the song, you know, the home videos of all those clips that, you know, have never been released, and Wolfgang was gracious enough to put them into a video for, you know, for that song for Ed. You can definitely see he was just a regular guy. I think the thing that I found really interesting was when Howard was asking him about, you know, how did your dad teach you, you know, to play, you know, how did your dad teach you the music piece? And it was so funny because Wolfgang was like, oh, he was a bad teacher. He was horrible. He was just, you know, he'd say, play this, and he'd play like Eddie Van Halen, and Wolfgang would be like, I'm not Eddie Van Halen. I can't do that. You know, it was so funny.
Yeah, yeah. Every time Wolfgang said this morning, every time Eddie would show him something, he's like you're you know he's not a great teacher because all of a sudden he would turn into Eddie Van Halen, and it's
Right,
just he would play it like Eddie Van Halen, and like nobody can play that.
right.
So yeah, that was fun. That was really fun to hear him, you know, say some of that stuff
Yeah,
where you could tell he was a fan too. That's the most important thing, I think, is that it proves that Wolfgang is a fan of the entire catalog.
Yeah.
You know, the whole Roth versus Hagar debate didn't mean anything. You know, it was
Yeah.
like, who cares?
Yeah. He
You
was
know.
just like, you know, yeah, he loved it all. You know, it was Van Halen. It was his dad. It was his uncle, you know.
Hmm.
Did you hear the part towards the end where he was talking about when Roth came back in 2007 and
Yeah.
they'd been jamming the riffs and they had Get Up was actually on the list and Roth was like, Get Up, what's that?
Oh, that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. They Roth came over. They had been jamming, and Wolfgang had created that set list of Hagar tunes and Roth tunes. And Roth picks up the set list, and Roth is like, "What's Get Up?"
Yeah, yeah, it was
That
so
was so funny.
yeah. Although it did spur something inside of me. I was like, ooh, 2007. Eddie must have pulled out a Transtrem guitar because Get Up was recorded on a Transtrem.
Well, see, that shows you why he had that guitar refurbished,
Yeah, yeah. He
because
was
they're
definitely messing
rehearsing Get
around with
Up.
it.
They're
Yeah,
rehearsing Get Up. Then Roth didn't forgot the effing words to that one, I guess.
yeah. That was yeah. Well, it's kind of like when Sammy came back in 2004. He forgot the lyrics to Tobacco Road. You know, it's
Ah.
like
Man. The other night though, I think it was Saturday night. And for those of you that are brand new here, pardon me, subscribe to the channel if you love Van Halen, because that's something we talk about nonstop. So this is a very big deal to us. Wolfgang putting out music and the music video that was released this morning. I had said the other night, because when they were teasing this interview, a few days ago, Howard had said that Wolfgang sent him something that was very special. And let me see, do I have the thing here? And if you look at the thumbnail for the song, here it's gonna pop in right there.
yeah.
That looks like a home movie. That looks like home movie footage there.
Right.
So I kind of said the other night, I'm like, well, maybe there's like a video. Maybe it's all home movie footage, and that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And the coolest thing about that, one of the cool things about it was it was all sequenced.
Yeah.
So the video starts with Wolfgang as a baby,
Right.
and goes all up until literally, I would say later than that. Remember that very last clip they showed of them sitting in the movie theater?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That looked like that was very recent.
Yeah, and then there was another picture of Ed like on a boat or something, looking over to the like the seagulls or something into the water, like they were on a vacation or something. Yeah, yeah, that was pretty recent. Yeah,
but you watch that music video and it's like you see Wolfgang's entire life.
Yeah,
and he's 29. He's almost 30. Well, we all know his birthday, obviously. March 16th.
Right.
Which is numbered, what, 4 months, 5 months from now? He'll be 30.
He'll be 30.
He'll be 30.
Yeah.
That means we're all at least 29, all of us.
That's right.
As well. But yeah, just to see that whole video, it made me realize, wow, somebody born, somebody in their 30s or 30 now, they, their whole life can be documented because of film.
Right.
Whereas you and me, we're a few years older, and I don't have any footage of myself even as a teenager or a kid. There's nothing.
I have video footage of me, probably from maybe 15 and up, only because my aunt and uncle had a video camera, and they would take videos of the holidays and stuff. But yeah, before that, they're just snapshots, pictures. Which can all be digitized. But yeah, you're right. Wolfgang was lucky. I mean, they had video of him, 91, right when it looked like right when they got out of the car, him and Val were coming home to the hospital. Almost looked like,
Yeah. So that music video, it goes all the way through his entire life, and yeah, some of those clips. Well, it was all amazing. I mean, let's just, it all was. But us, as far as being Van Halen nerds and guitar geeks, we got to see some gear. We got to see some guitars,
Yeah.
you know, that we had maybe never seen or was, you know, rarely seen.
Yeah,
But
the single coil Sunburst Music Man. It showed, you know, Wolfie as a baby playing with it, you know, messing around.
yeah,
Cool. And
yeah, that was the one from the Top of the World video, right? Maybe,
yeah, you can see the
maybe
baritone guitar too. I think you can see the baritone guitar, probably the one that he wrote, or he played In and Out. I think.
Spanked,
Yeah.
Spanked, yeah, and Runaround.
Run
He
around.
used a baritone for Runaround for some of that, and then Spanked. Um, and I'll tell you when we get off the air, I'll tell you something that I think is pretty cool that I'm not totally sure about, but I'm kind of sure about, but I don't want to say on here. Um, but yeah, what else, man? There was so much cool info in that. So many
Yeah.
things.
Yeah. I mean, you could literally go on for hours and hours and discuss every single little thing they talked about because it was so cool. You know, I mean, a lot of the stuff, like you said, you know, was kind of confirmed. I think the most powerful thing to me personally was, you know, the fact that uh, at the end of the interview, and I think Johnny said, I mean, it is going to be spoiler alert because we're going to talk about this stuff, but at the end of the interview, Wolfgang basically clarified something that I was praying was going to happen. And basically, he mentioned that for those of you that haven't heard it, that right up until towards the end, when Edward was, they thought he was getting better and things were, you know, looking up, which they were for a period of time, which is like a couple of years ago or so. The game, they even spoke to Irving Azoff about it, and they were talking about Sammy, probably Roth, and even Gary Sharon and Mike coming back, and they were going to do like a huge,
Everybody.
massive tour. They were going to call it the Kitchen Sink Tour, and it was going to be everybody. And
Yeah.
Wolfie had talked to Ed about it initially, and Ed was like, "Well, you know, okay, but you got to be on there." And you know, Wolfie kind of, it took some convincing, he said, but he got his dad, you know, okay, I'll come out and I'll play like on a different kind of truth, but it's going to be you guys. And then
Right.
Ed has really warmed up to the idea, and it was looking like it was going to happen. And just to tag on to that, you know, the fact that, you know, Sammy and Ed did make up towards the end, which we kind of knew because Sammy had said that, but to hear that from Wolfgang, and you know, there was no animosity between Mikey anymore. I mean, it really wasn't a lot of communication, but there was no animosity. Everybody was really getting along, and that to me, I mean, it would have been great if that happened, but even though the way things went down, and I was just talking to Chris Hubbard about this today, just knowing that that was going to happen put a huge smile on my face, that was going to happen, because it's still, now that Edward's gone, you know, it still makes us as Van Halen fans know that, hey, they were actually planning the ultimate tour that any Van Halen fan could possibly even ever hope for, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody was on board with it. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And I liked, I thought it was interesting how Wolfgang said their manager contacted Michael Anthony before Wolfgang could.
Yeah, he said he wanted to do it.
So like Wolfgang, you know, he doesn't have a problem with anybody.
Right.
You know, he loves them all, and that's what's amazing. And something that, I mean, well, this is all public. I mean, it was on the show this morning. But one of the reasons why that tour didn't happen was because Edward was in a motorcycle accident.
Yes, that was news to me. I heard that and I was like, wow, yeah.
It turned out he had a brain tumor.
Yep.
And he had a motorcycle accident, and that's
how they caught it. I think isn't that how they caught it or something? It sounded to me, Johnny, like, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I misheard it, but he had the tumor prior to the accident, but after he had the accident, isn't that when they found it or something?
I only listened to the interview once. I just heard that one. I'm gonna have to listen again, but
yeah,
that's what it sounded like to me.
They did like a CAT scan or something because he had a motorcycle accident, and then found out, whoa, he's got a brain tumor, and then it was pretty much just downhill from there. Yeah, that was the first time, you know, any of us heard that, I think, you know.
Right. And I thought it was, I mean, I mean, it's it's sad that the band is over, but to hear Wolfgang say, "Hey, the band is over,"
Yeah.
I think hopefully a lot of those diehard fans that oh let's get Sammy and Wolf and Gary, maybe they'll do some sort of tribute show at some point or something. But as far as the Van Halen band, it's over. And to hear Wolfgang say
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
it made me feel, uh, it just made me feel like, okay, maybe some of those fans that are just insane will be like, okay, that's how it is.
What I found interesting is listening to the crap that some of these insane fans. I mean, and I'm not picking on any of us or anybody watching this show because we're just real hardcore fans. But the insane fans, the people that like Wolfgang said, his exact words were these people are pretty fucked up. That's what he said. And the people that are spreading all these rumors on the CBD oil and
Well,
Sammy's
those are
coming
those are
back
just
and
scammers. Those are
yeah,
just
I mean
scammers.
all that. And but it was interesting to hear Wolfie say people were talking about Sammy's coming back and Mike's coming back and he's gonna Al's gonna play drums and Wolfie's gonna play guitar and he's like I'm not Eddie Van Halen, there's no Eddie Van Halen. And what I thought was really really amazing was he goes, my dad would hate that. He would be like, what the hell are you doing, go do your own thing. And hearing that almost kind of put a smile on my face in a sense because I don't care. I mean, I don't care really what they did. I mean, it would be awesome. I'd go to see them anyways, no matter what they did. But it would never be Van Halen. It would never be Van Halen without Eddie Van Halen.
No, there's no way.
No way.
There's no way. No.
And Wolfgang basically said, he said, all this stuff in the archives that, eventually we will get to years down the road, whatever. He said, it's not right in, on our sites right now. We need to, process all this and get through some stuff. And Wolfgang's going to, after the healing, I'm sure his album will start to come out and make its debut. And he said, yeah, one day down the road, maybe a few years from now, we'll see something like that. And he did even mention maybe one day there'll be a tribute show or something. I mean, he did mention that, but what I thought was really powerful is he said, all these people that are holding their breath, for all this crazy stuff, it's not going to happen.
And Wolfgang said that the music video that he put out, that is the public memorial for Edward.
Right.
There's not going to be any kind of public memorial service.
Yeah.
So that music video, that's what that is.
And that pretty much that pretty much was about anything anybody could ever imagine, or ever hope for. I mean, I literally was tearing up. I mean, I heard the song initially on the Howard Stern interviews. I listened to the whole song.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard Distance, and then I heard that hardcore song, You're to Blame, which
Blame. You're to blame or something.
Yeah, that's just awesome. And Wolfgang's voice just. I can't even express how like amazed I am and how talented that guy is. But after the interview was over, I went on YouTube and I actually saw the video of Distance. And then it was, just seeing how the video started out with Wolfie, going up the stairs and Edward's talking about building a studio. And then at the end, when the song fades out, Eddie's leaving Wolfie a message and basically says, I love you. And hey, give me a call. I just want to hear your voice. I'm so lucky to have you, something like that. I mean, it was literally like, me being a father myself. It just was a real tearjerker. And it was done so tasteful. I thought it just so amazingly tastefully,
Mm-hmm.
That guy, Wolfgang is, he's just such a special kid, and the way he talks, the way he handles himself, the way he answered Howard's questions, even some of the ones where you could tell he really wasn't totally comfortable answering. Mm-hmm. He answered them, but he did it in a very stylish way. And Howard was very respectful, I think, how he handled those two. And just a total class act, that guy. I mean, Ed and Val did an amazing job bringing that kid up, and just what he has turned into. over these years. It's just amazing to see a father. You know, I mean, it's been apparent how much Eddie's always loved that kid. You know, Wolfgang, obviously, but to see how it reciprocated too, that's just pretty powerful. Really powerful.
Yeah. 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 And it's just so crazy, you know.
Yeah.
As like you and I as fans, you know, we grew up, you know, watching Wolfgang grow up basically.
Right.
And to see that video, it was, I mean, it's just there's
yeah.
I don't know how to explain it.
It almost seems, you know, it's interesting, Johnny. I was talking to a friend of mine today about it, and as strange as this sounds, it's almost we've been such dedicated hardcore fans all these years, and even though we weren't like, you know, close with the Van Halen family or anything, you know, or at the same time, you can't help but feel when something like this happens and you've had that exposure to this band and that man and these guitars and all that crazy stuff all these years, and you see all the interviews and you see them live, and we do shows on it. When something like this happens and you see a video like that, it's almost, I know this sounds weird, but it's almost like a family member. It almost feels that special in some weird way, you know?
Yeah, well, like I said, you know, you and I both, we grew up,
Yeah,
you know, watching Wolfgang grow up. We grew up on this music and this band, and as collectors, you know, you've got a huge Van Halen collection. I used to. I don't anymore.
yeah,
But
but you
yeah,
still got all the stuff. You still got the guitars and the amp, and you know, we still got all that stuff as fans, you know. Yeah.
yeah, I do have some you know, special things here and there, but not. Actually, that reminds me, I haven't seen this yet. But look at this final issue warning from Guitar Player, and guess what issue it is?
Oh, really?
I haven't seen it. I just got it in the mail.
Oh, I'd love
Here's an
to see it.
unboxing for you guys.
Yeah, let's do an unboxing.
Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
I just got it today. Here.
Final issue warning.
Yeah, final issue warning, and this is what it is.
Cool. I actually have one coming in the mail. I got one off of eBay the other day. There's really some awesome magazines coming out. The new Young Guitar magazine tribute just came out too. I got that. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, is that all dedicated to Eddie, Johnny?
I haven't seen it. I'm looking right now. This is my first time. Let me see. Well, the first here we go. Okay, the first 25 pages are all like guitar reviews. So the first 25 pages are not Van Halen. And then it starts with this.
Yeah.
Get that picture there. I won't if you don't want it, I don't want to spoil anything for you, so I won't. Oh, that's a cool picture. Again, I don't want to spoil this for you if you're getting it, but
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we can wait. Yeah, that looks
there's some cool shots in here, man.
Nice.
Some stuff I've never seen.
I'm excited.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, there's some music stuff. So it looks like a good portion of the middle of the magazine is all dedicated to Eddie. There's some stuff, you know, the first several pages and the last several pages are like regular guitar magazine type stuff, and then but there's a good portion. Oh, that's a cool pic. Yeah, there's some unseen pictures in here that I'd never seen. So
nice. Yeah, I'm excited.
So look forward to that. And thank you, Michael Smith. Michael Smith was the one that gave me the subscription to this. Which this is my final issue, I guess. So, hey, perfect. End with that one. I'm fine.
That's fun. Well, there was another cool thing that we saw in the interview and heard about, and maybe once we get a chance to see the full interview, we'll maybe see a little bit more. But Johnny's got one in the background, and I got mine right here. And the 1984 Kramer guitar. made an appearance in the video today that Wolfgang was on and Howard Stern, and we had kind of known that back in 2004, I think it was, when Edward was being interviewed by the Dwyer and Michaels radio show guys out of Iowa.
3 or 4.
It was either 3 or 4. Yeah, it might have been
end of 3. I think it was Christmas. I think it was December. I don't know.
It was just before Sammy was in the process of work. I think they were actually writing those 3 songs, Up for Breakfast, Learning to See. And
I think it was 2003.
Possibly,
I think it was Christmas 2003 is when it was, because 2004. I remember where I was when I heard that interview with Dwyer and Michaels. I remember exactly where I was, and that would have been 2003.
Yeah. Well, he asked him what he got him for Christmas, and he says, "Man," he goes, "I gave him my original striped guitar from the 1984 tour." He says, "I built 3 of them," and he said, "I gave him the backup Kramer," and he's talking about the duct tape and everything, and the guitar he was referring to was this one, the 1984 guitar, and it also, I don't think Edward remembered at that time, but he had played it, obviously in 86 for Good Enough too. It was a Good Enough guitar with a different neck on it. And it was interesting because Wolfgang actually pulls that guitar out and is talking to Howard about it. He's like, "Yeah, this is the Kramer, the number 2 backup." And he said it had 1984 on it. And there's a little clip on YouTube right now where Wolfgang's talking about, what they were planning to have Sammy and Dave and Mike come back, and even Gary and all that. And you can see in the background, you can see the 84 guitar. You can see the headstock, and you can see a chunk of the body.
Mm-hmm.
So he had it right there, and it sounds like he was showing it to Howard. So
yeah, well, he did show it, because if you listen to it, he's like, "Howard, I brought this out. I want to show you this. This is my first." I think he said this was my first guitar, or this was the guitar Eddie gave me. My dad gave me this guitar for Christmas. Yeah, and that's something we had always kind of assumed. We never knew for sure it was that guitar.
See, that's the thing. We knew it. We figured it was either the Hot for Teacher guitar or the 84. We knew it wasn't the 5150.
Because Eddie said he built 3 guitars for that tour.
Right.
Which the 3 years.
I always thought it would be this one, but it could have also been the Hot for Teacher guitar. But then as the years went on, the Hot for Teacher guitar was in private hands, and it still is. And we learned about that. So kind of through trial and error and, whatever, we kind of put it together. It probably was this guitar. But today, like Johnny said, it was absolutely confirmed. It is the 1984 Kramer.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool. And maybe now, honestly, that guitar has not been seen in any magazines or pictures since 1988. It made an appearance in '88 at a photo shoot where Eddie was wearing a red, shirt with jeans. And
actually, you saw it in '89 in that interview with Zeke Clark.
Yeah.
In '89, there's a video interview, and he's holding the guitar, saying this is Eddie's backup.
Yeah, that's.
But it was never seen. He had never played it.
Yeah, because that's when they went over to Japan, right? Yeah. That guitar actually went along the tour. That's correct. But other than that, that was the last time that, unless there's some pictures floating around out there somewhere that none of us have seen, that's the first time we've actually seen that guitar. So I'm kind of hoping that as time goes on and we see more and more of Wolfgang, who knows? Maybe we'll see an appearance of that guitar in a magazine, or who knows? Maybe you'll even play it sometime. We have no idea, but it's just cool to know that he's still got it.
Oh, of course. Of course,
but sure he would never,
It's just, that was one of those things that oh, confirmed, as nerds.
I know. We're such geeks when it comes to that.
Hey, Alan Garber is here.
Hey, Alan.
Good to see you, man. A lot of people in here. We got 144 watching. That's YouTube and Facebook combined. We're live on YouTube here on Johnny Beane TV. We're live on Facebook on the Johnny Beane TV page, and then also the Van Halen 1974 to 2020 Facebook group, which again, I changed the name of that group, and everything's kind of calming down. People aren't as crazy in there now, so which was the plan, because Roth era fans can just be insane.
Yeah, they are. Yes,
I don't know why.
They're not very welcoming to Sammy era fans. That's for sure.
I don't know. I love it all.
Me
That's
too.
all that matters. All that matters is that myself, Rob Johnson, and Wolfgang Van Halen all love it all. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Nothing else. Yeah. I think one thing I'd like to mention too, that kind of touched on it a little bit, but I just, it's amazing to me, only hearing now 2 songs from Wolfgang, Distance and also You're to Blame. It just what I mean, the guitar playing I thought was amazing. Just incredible how melodic he is. He definitely has his dad's musical genius of arranging songs and making incredibly melodic type vocals and music. But his voice, I have to say, for all those naysayers out there, and they've still been out there. I've still recently heard people talk, oh, that was never Wolfgang singing back in 2007, whatever. And it's so funny because I always knew it was. And Wolfgang said today on that interview, he essentially said, that's probably one of the best compliments anybody could give me to think that wasn't me, because it was obviously. And
yeah,
when you hear those songs, obviously Distance is incredible. The background harmonies, but Blame, that song, You're to Blame. I mean, man, the notes that he hits in that. I mean, it's very. It's very. I don't want to. I mean, I guess I hate to throw out names, but it reminded me of Alter Bridge kind of sound. The music, kind of the way that it was orchestrated, but
it was heavy. It was heavy.
It was heavy. Exactly. Heavy's a good word.
Had a great guitar solo in it.
Oh,
which the guitar solo in Distance is just like a tremolo picking, which is great. Play what fits the song. That's something Eddie had always said.
Yeah.
Don't overplay. But there was more of a guitar solo in the other tune.
His vocals in the Blame song to me were just, man, I'll tell you, they're powerful. He's such a good singer, and he's got an amazing voice. That guy is really, really, really talented. And like I said, the way he knows how to arrange a song, and obviously he's a Van Halen. He has that gene in him. But the only thing that was going through my head was, wow, this guy's going to explode. He's going to be amazing. He's going to continue to be amazing. And I can't imagine anybody hearing those songs, whether you're a Van Halen fan or not. I can't imagine anybody hearing those songs and not thinking, wow, that's incredible. Just incredible musician. Very, very touched by that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm glad it doesn't sound like classic Van Halen.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the last thing I would want to hear. I want to hear, his own, any real true musician, wants to be original.
Right.
You want to do your own thing, and I know it can be tough for kids of well-known musicians, because some of them they go on and do the same thing, like Sinatra. Frank Sinatra Jr. was dressed up like his dad, singing those same songs.
Yeah,
which I mean that's fine for him, for them. But
it works for some people. But Wolfgang said, how many times, Johnny? Like maybe 2 or 3 times. Like my dad would be like, "What are you doing? Do your own thing, man." He wanted him to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
thought it was powerful how Wolfgang said that even though he might not have heard the final product, Eddie heard Distance. He heard that song.
He heard him working on it. He heard him. Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. I think I might have mentioned this last night, because I heard the song last night. I bought it. It was released on iTunes like last night at like 9 o'clock or something. And so I went live last night and talked about it and and promoted that Wolf was going to be on Stern this morning. But what was I saying? I just hear growling.
Yeah, the dog.
What was I
Internet
saying? I don't even know what I
problems,
was even
dog
saying.
barking, growling. It's never mind.
I was saying something, but wait, Frank Sinatra Jr. has no talent. I don't.
Okay.
I don't. He might have passed away though, Frank Sinatra Jr. But yeah. Anyway, my wife just walked in the room. She hears us, and she said that Hank Williams Jr., Hank Williams, and then Hank Williams Jr., Bocephus, and then there's a Hank Williams Jr. Jr. I guess they're all different. So
Yeah.
they're all individuals.
Right.
And then
you can have that.
who has a band hammer in here? Anybody, or is it just me? Hang on, we got something going on here.
You can. I think you can have. You can have you can be in the family of an incredibly talented person. And I mean, a musician is just a perfect example of that. But even a talented sports figure, or someone who's a celebrity, an incredible actor or whatever. Not always, but a lot of times, the offspring of that person has also incredible talent. And sometimes they take the same road as the parent, and sometimes not. But there's a lot of people out there, not just musicians. Famous people, kids of famous people, talented famous people, do the same thing as the parent. But they do it in their own style. They have that talent. They have that that gift, I guess I should say. But they do it in their own way, and I think that's so cool. And not to take away from anybody that does the same thing as their parents. That's great. That's awesome. But it's also great, I think, when they become their own individual. And in Wolfgang's case, his own musician. That's pretty awesome. And it's apparent when you hear those two songs. You just that's not Van Halen. It doesn't sound like Van Halen music. But when you hear it, it's no wonder that it's a Van Halen that made it, because it's amazing. It's awesome. And it's genius, to be able to orchestrate, and like I said earlier, put that type of melody to a song like that, and just make it so special,
Yeah. I think that's where I was going. I heard the song last night, and then I went live and talked about it, and if you were to hear the song if you didn't know who did it, you would have no idea that it was a Van Halen song, which it is. It's a Van Halen song, like it or not.
Right.
It's the next generation of Van Halen.
Yeah.
But, oh, hey, Hubbard's in here. Chris Hubbard, he's in here.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man. Yeah, another huge Van Halen fan. Him and this guy right here. These two guys, man. Them and their guitars, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Hubbard and I were actually talking today about the 1984 guitar. Matter of fact, Hubbard painted this one. This is a Hubbard creation. Actually, the neck was done by Nick Amendolara. Nick did the headstock, but Hubbard did the body. And they both did an awesome job on this incredible guitar. And like I said, the fact that it made a debut again today, when Wolfgang had it, I mean, it's just pretty cool. It's a great guitar.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing, and hopefully, Stern will release more clips from that, and we'll get to see a clip of him showing that guitar.
Yeah, that would be really awesome. Johnny's got his 84 Kramer in the back. That'd be amazing. 84, isn't it?
Yeah. There's mine.
Yeah.
There's mine. I use it for lessons. And hey, if you're brand new to the channel, again, make sure to subscribe if you love Van Halen. Obviously, we love Van Halen. I mean, look at this. We're all dressed up. Other way.
Yeah,
there you go. There you go. Yeah, if you love Van Halen, subscribe to the channel. We talk about Van Halen, not just Van Halen, but we talk about a lot of rock music stuff. Like Tuesdays, we do talking guitars and 80s metal. Fridays is kind of a dedicated Van Halen show now with me and Jay Hannon. And then Saturdays, we do what's called Saturday Night Live, where we just talk about everything and anything, either music or food or...
You talk about Saturdays.
Whatever. Yeah, yeah. But I think a good chunk of tomorrow's show and then Friday's show and then the whole next week is going to be a lot of it's going to be talking about Wolfgang,
Yeah.
talking about those songs and Howard and actually he wasn't just on Howard. Actually, he's going to be on the Today Show tomorrow. He did an interview with Rolling Stone magazine. I think it was just in print. It was he tweeted it out earlier. He's been doing a lot of stuff. And hey, Joanne, how do you subscribe? If you jump over to YouTube, jump over to the YouTube side of it. I know you're in Facebook. Let's see, where are you? Are you at Johnny Bean TV on Facebook? Go to johnnybean.tv. And yeah, most of the chat is over here on YouTube. Like we have 168 watching, 50, 53, 4, 5, 6. We got about 15 people on Facebook, and then 155 on, or no, it's the number's jumping on YouTube. But here, I'll type this in.
It was interesting too. One of the other things that were brought up, and this has been a kind of a question I've been getting a lot, since October 6th, since Eddie's passing. I can't tell you how many messages I've got on this, and what people think my opinion is, and if I've heard anything or whatever, on what's going to happen to the EVH line and who's going to run it and all that. And Wolfgang confirmed today, which is kind of what I thought, or what we thought, I should say, is Wolfgang and Matt Bruck are going to head up the EVH line, and it's definitely. It's definitely something that's going to continue to prosper. It's not, the EVH line is not going away. And there's still going to be other stuff. Wolfgang even talked about the possibility of maybe a Wolfgang bass coming out,
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. Cause actually Wolfgang had said in a tweet or on Instagram, he replied to somebody, and he had said that Fender actually wasn't even interested in doing a bass. That's why there hasn't been one. But then somebody from Fender replied back. They're like, yeah, we are.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah.
Now that Wolfgang's running the company, it's going to be all basses. And actually, he had said maybe they would call the Wolfgang bass. Maybe they'd call it the Ed.
The Ed
is what he called it, because the guitars are already called Wolfgangs.
Right. Yeah. He's going to call the bass the Ed. Yeah. That was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I thought that was neat.
Yeah.
The thing that Chris Hubbard and I were actually talking about on the phone today, which is really neat, was. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Johnny's noticed this, as we all have, but the amount of stuff that's been coming out since Ed's passing, like, videos on YouTube and unreleased stuff and pictures. There's tours from MTV of the studio. I mean, it's not just coincidence that they're all just coming out now. It's coming out now because people are releasing a lot of the stuff, and I think that's going to continue to happen over time. But what I thought was really interesting was, Wolfgang did say that there will come a day when they'll address the vaults and they'll jump into there. It's not going to happen soon, but one day that'll probably happen, as he said. But the thing that I think is cool is us as Van Halen fans, it's not a race. We don't need all this stuff immediately. What I think is really special about it is us as Van Halen fans, and us, being some of us being guitar players, and every time a new picture comes out or something, we're all excited about it, which is really great. But it's not a race. So let's just let's just continue to enjoy being Van Halen fans, and in the wake of Eddie's passing, let's see what comes out. Let's just see what happens. It's inevitable that more Van Halen stuff will come out. I mean, Van Halen is never going to tour again, obviously. But at the same time, we can still enjoy being Van Halen fans. We can still enjoy, the legacy that those guys built. And Wolfgang, and that goes for the EVH line too. That stuff's not going away. There's gonna be some awesome stuff that's just going to continue to come out, and it's going to be just as exciting to be Van Halen fans. And no, we're not going to be able to see Eddie ever play live again, but I still say there's still going to be some really cool stuff that comes out, and we just need to be patient and just continue to be, just do what we've been doing, just having a good time playing the guitar and having fun with all this stuff,
Mm-hmm. In the chat here, no, Van Halen is, the band is over, but it's never going to go away. It's going to get bigger. It's kind of, it's weird, man. I mean, it's it's like, you hear about, like, we grew up, like, we never saw Led Zeppelin.
Right.
You probably never saw Led Zeppelin, right?
Nope, never.
So we never saw them. So there's this myth now of this band, Led Zeppelin, this legendary.
Yeah. We never saw Jimi Hendrix. We never saw Hendrix.
Or Hendrix. That's going to happen now with Van Halen.
Right.
They're going to become, I mean, they were legends anyway. I mean, to us, but they're, it's going to become it's going to be a part of the
yeah.
You know what I mean?
In 20 years, I believe in 15, 20 years, you're going to see 16, 17-year-old kids that are playing guitar, you're going to start playing Van Halen. He's going to be a legend,
Well, of course, and I mean, this might be kind of a weird thing to say. Let me know in the chat if I'm wrong. But we grew up, as guitar players. Oh, there's Hendrix. Eddie was here, So either people, there were a lot of people were influenced by Eddie. Eddie was here. But Hendrix, it was always like, oh, Hendrix is the legendary guitar guy,
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking now Eddie is going to replace Hendrix as far as being the legendary guitarist, which he is. But let's say in 20 years, kids that are going to be picking up the guitar, the way that we thought of Hendrix now, they'll be thinking about Eddie.
Yeah.
Then or in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's such a weird thing to realize.
Oh yeah, and this whole striped design, it's just going to continue to get bigger. I think it's going to continue to get bigger. It's just going to,
It's on your arm. Look out.
Yeah, I know, right? It's never going away from me, right? Yeah, it's just going to continue. It's like I'm developing gangrene or something,
Oh.
Continue. No, it's never going away, and like Johnny said, it's just going to continue to get bigger, and it's going to
become more legendary.
Yes,
is what's going to happen. And then somebody in the chat I just saw. I'm sorry. We have a lot of people here, and yeah, if you have questions for us, if you have questions or comments, get our attention. Get our attention. Let us make sure we see them. Somebody said something about Alex Van Halen. Okay. I just saw a picture of Alex. Here's a picture. There was somebody else in the picture. I cropped them out but this was apparently this is a picture of Alex from just like last week, apparently. Right here.
Mm-hmm. Was he robbing a bank or what? No, it's bad.
Bad. Don't you where have you been the past 9 months?
Yeah, I know. Gotta have a little humor sometimes. But...
Is it like that where you are? Out here, you can't go anywhere without a mask. You have to wear a mask everywhere you go.
Yeah, you have
everywhere
to have a mask here. Whenever you go inside a store, I mean, you don't have to wear one outside, but it's regulation. You have to, any store you go into, you have to wear a mask anywhere. So I have my Van Halen striped mask with me everywhere I go. Except at work, I can't wear my Van Halen mask at work. I have to wear a regular mask, but that's okay. But yeah, that's cool to see Alex. Wolfie actually Howard asked about how Alex was doing, and Wolfgang addressed that too, and he said, pretty much same as he's doing, not great, and just day by day. And he said he talks to Al pretty much every day, and they're there for each other. And they both have said, hey, if you need anything, let me know. And I mean, that Van Halen family. I mean, and again, another thing that Howard mentioned and Wolfie clarified was he was just amazed that even after the divorce of Eddie and Val in 2001, how close Valerie stayed, to Eddie. I mean, right up until he passed away, apparently she was right there with him. And, it's just amazing that, a divorce can happen, especially a celebrity divorce, years ago. I mean, that was 2001. That's like 20 years ago, believe it or not, they've been divorced. That's hard to even believe. But at the same time, it's interesting to note that, that connection between Ed and Val was always there. And we've seen that with pictures. I mean, there's pictures of Valerie and her new husband, or at the time, and Ed and Janie together, the four of them, hanging out. I mean, that's so awesome. And it's so many. I mean, I can't even say that I've been able to do that, with my ex-wife. I mean, in the last 5 years, we haven't got to that point yet. But it's just amazing that they're able to do that, and that family stayed so close, not only for Wolfgang's sake, but also for the rest of the family. And that's pretty special, I think, that they were able to do that. And Wolfgang clarified that too,
Yeah.
They had that bond,
Yeah. 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 It's great. It's great. And again, all our condolences to everybody.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, Van Halen, everybody in the Van Halen family, Wolfgang, Valerie, Janie. Actually, I sent Janie a message recently, and because we met,
Yeah.
Actually, when I met Edward, Janie was there, and so the picture you see of me and Eddie, actually, that Janie took that picture.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, it's still, I mean, it's just shocking. But I think today, hearing Wolfgang, it just and with the video and the song, it's just a great tribute.
It was great, and it was amazing, but in a weird kind of way, it kind of reopened the wound again of feeling the pain of losing Edward Van Halen as a massive fan. In a good way. I mean, it was definitely a heart jerker, tear jerker, so to speak, whatever you want to call it. But seeing those videos just was like, wow, and then it just kind of brought, me personally, it brought me even closer to like the whole personal level that family must have shared, and being such a huge fan, and not just a fan of Edward's guitars he was playing, but also just being a fan of the person too. He was just seemed like such a cool guy. I never officially met him, but I did shake his hand and did talk to him real briefly, but I never was lucky enough to get a picture with him, but I did technically meet him, and he was just such a cool, normal guy, and you can see that so plainly in that video. Everybody that's ever met Edward always just said he's just so laid back and normal. And you can hear it when, whether you're listening to a Steve Rosen interview with him, or whether you're watching a video like we saw today, or he's just so down to earth. And I think that's what made the whole legend of Edward Van Halen so special, being that he was such an incredible guitar player. And now you listen to his son, Wolfgang, the stuff he's putting out, and it's just, wow. It's just pretty awesome. It's just an amazing family,
Yeah. Yeah.
So cool.
Bet Tom, come on. Man, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to listen to it again, man. I heard it one time all the way through, and I was just blown away. Everything that the whole thing was great. Howard is great. I love Howard. And what else was there? Spoiler alert. What else was there that they talked about?
Speaking of Howard, Johnny, did you hear one thing that actually made me laugh is Howard had it was funny the way he said it. I just was laughing my butt off. His exact words is after they played the second song, they played You're to Blame. When the song's over, Howard he says something like, wow, that's incredible. He says, Wolfgang, what the fuck is going on in that room of yours back there? Did you hear that?
Yeah, probably, yeah. Oh,
he goes, what the hell are you doing back in that room there? He goes, that's incredible. Just the way he said it was classic. Like, of course, Wolfgang's recording the drums and the guitar and the vocals, bass, everything.
It's a little studio.
Yeah.
It's a little studio.
And Howard heard the song, and he was just like miffed. He's like, what the hell's going on back there in that room of yours?
Let's see if I can find a Let me see if I can find a picture. A still. Where would I do that? YouTube? Yeah, there's been
guys that are asking questions. I cannot see the questions. I can't. Johnny can, but I can't because I had to switch over to my phone. So if anybody's asking me any questions and I'm not responding, it's not because I don't want to. It's because I can't see them.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'll give you a look at all those guitars.
Yeah,
I actually haven't really seen. I really haven't.
Looks like he's got a Kramer back there. Not the '84 Kramer, but looks like he's got a banana headstock guitar back there.
Oh, that's a
EVH?
that's an EVH 5150 series.
Oh, okay.
You can tell by the headstock. Yeah, check this out. Here's Wolfgang. Here, let me share the screen. This is my first time seeing that. Let's see this one. All right, can you guys see? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's one of Howard's videos. But hey, let's look back here.
Oh yeah, that's an EVH stripe series.
That's a 5150 stripe series in the front. There's a Les Paul. There's the what do you call it? Starcaster, is it? Starcaster? Yeah, there's some cool stuff. And then there's Wolfgang. And then over on this side. Oh no. Rob Johnson just went. Where is it?
Yeah, I know. Boing.
Look at that. There's the 1984 Kramer, the headstock at least.
Yep, that's the
right there.
Headstock. That's the one that they put on for Good Enough for the 5150 tour.
Yeah. Yeah, and then there's a Wolfgang bass back there, and then 5150 amps. There's a drum set. Yeah, you can't really. You can see. Oh, there you can see some of the front of the guitar right there.
Yeah, I do think it sounded to me like if we see the whole video, or if we see the video, with the audio together, the whole thing, it sounds to me like he actually picks it up and is showing it to Howard.
Oh, he does definitely. He definitely does.
Yeah, so we, because he says, Howard, I brought this for you. So he's, sure he picked it up. I'm dying to see that,
Yes. Oh, definitely. Yeah. Yeah, that was something we kind of suspected. Somebody in the chat here is saying the Kramer was a gift to Wolfgang as a Christmas gift. Yeah, we kind of suspected it was, but today, I mean, there it is. I mean,
there it is.
Amazing.
It's that's an awesome guitar. One of my favorite Kramers. Definitely one of my favorite Kramers. I've always been a big fan of the '84.
Oh, same here. Same here. The 5150 is number one to me.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The 5150, the '84. I just like some of the weird backups that were given to the hard rock.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different ones.
918B.
Anything red, black, and white, striped, and that says Kramer on it is definitely.
Another cool one was actually it's half of the 1984 Kramer. It's the 85 hard rock giveaway, because that guitar,
right.
The neck that's on that guitar was the original neck, as we've discussed many times before.
The 84.
That was on the '84
with the two stars on the headstock.
Yeah,
I saw that guitar. I saw it at the Hard Rock Cafe back in 1994.
Yeah, that's so
when
cool.
I was in New York. I went and I saw it. I got my picture taken next to it.
That guitar's overseas now, I believe, isn't it? It's over in Holland or something, I think.
I don't.
I thought someone said it was.
Can't remember.
Maybe it was either Holland or Italy. I think a friend of mine that knows where it is that told me that it's in a Hard Rock Cafe, but it's overseas. I think they move those guitars around all the time. I mean, like the Neptune guitar, the Neptune Kramer, that used to be in Florida, in Orlando. Now it's in LA. It's in Los Angeles.
But it sucks because of what's going on now. All the hard rocks, they're all closed.
I know.
They're all closed. You know, I was watching a live stream of somebody on YouTube recently, and he was walking down what is that? Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah.
And he walks right past that hard rock, which that's where we met, you and I. We had dinner there.
Yeah, we did.
With Caleb.
Caleb
Rappaport, Nerd Halen. Yeah. And anyway, it was all boarded up. It was all, everything was boarded up, you know.
No, that's such a shame. That's such a shame.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, who knows? Maybe one day we'll get, you know, they'll open up again one day once things change. Who knows? But yeah, but as far as those Kramers are concerned, yeah, they're definitely they're really cool guitars. And like I said, I'm really hoping that we see more of that 1984 Kramer now. Now that Wolfie's got it, you know, like in the studio, maybe it'll be something that he'll post some pictures on Instagram of or something, you know, especially if people are asking about it.
Oh, right.
You know,
definitely. And then here, let me show another picture. Speaking of Kramers, there was a picture that I posted a couple days ago of Eddie's 5150 of his guitar rack. You probably saw it. Where would I find that?
I think it was on Instagram, wasn't it? Pretty sure it was.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me just go to Instagram. So I want to screen share. Let me go to Instagram real quick. And again, if you're a Van Halen EVH Gear fan, my EVH fan account is EVH Gear Live. Make sure you follow me over there. Let's see, tagged. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. Did I tag you in this? I might have tagged you.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know.
Yep, you did. I saw it earlier.
But here, we'll show that. Speaking of that stuff, that's all our favorite stuff. Here we go. Right there.
Yeah, very, very cool. Now, I don't think there's other pictures like that where you can see the 918V in there, but I believe that picture, the 918V is in there, but it hasn't had the space tape put on it yet. I'm thinking. I don't. I could be mistaken on that, but you can certainly see the 84 and the 5150. Those are on the end, but on
the right, all the way to the right is 5150, 84. Maybe the 918V. Maybe the 918V.
Maybe it's hard to say.
Maybe the 918V, and then another one.
Yeah.
The one with the zebra. You see that zebra pickup on that one?
Yes. Yeah. That's pretty cool too.
You're gonna have to make that one now.
I know. That one. It's so hard to say because Eddie had so many of those guitars, and we've seen pictures of 5150 in the studio with all those striped bodies, and who knows whatever happened. But that particular zebra guitar could be before the Ripley neck was put on it, the 24 fret Ripley neck.
Because of the striping pattern, and then that did have a zebra in it too, huh?
It did. I mean, I'm not saying it is. I mean, it's hard to say. I'm just saying it could be. I mean, I don't switch the necks on.
I don't think it is because I think the one with the Ripley neck was on that tour as well.
It was, Johnny. I'm just saying.
Or maybe it was switched.
That could be early in the tour.
Maybe it was switched.
Right, exactly. I mean, again, I have nothing to base that on, and because the Ripley neck was on that tour, but that could be an early picture. I mean, even maybe before they put the 918V on one of the other ones. It's so hard to say. But those are such cool guitars. They really are. And most of those backups have the pointy headstocks and with the tilt backs, which is really cool.
Good night, Bozique.
Night, Bozique.
Thank you so much, Bozique.
Yeah, thanks for jumping in.
Yeah. By the way, I was playing your guitar the other day, Bozique. Bozique gave me a Wolfgang a few years ago.
Oh yeah, is that the natural one, Johnny?
No, it's the black hardtail.
Oh yeah, that's another nice one.
And I was playing that one. anytime somebody gives me a guitar, I call it, by their name. So there's the Bozique Wolfgang, there's the David Ennis Wolfgang, the
Yeah.
David Ennis Strat.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah, I love the Strat. David. That's cool.
Has anybody heard from David Ennis? I haven't seen him in any of the chats for a while.
I think he was in. I think he was on my show. I did a video on my channel a few weeks ago, just myself. I think David Ennis jumped in on that. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. All right, David Ennis, if you hear this, let us know. Yeah, because I haven't seen him in any of my chats for a while, so I'm just kind of wondering.
Huh.
Hope he's okay.
Yeah, me too. I was just gonna say he's an awesome dude. Hope everything's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So look at that. Look at that, man.
Cool picture. It's always nice to see some of those guitars, some of Eddie's guitars. Especially like Johnny said, especially the striped Kramers. I mean, those are just so cool.
There's nothing like them. Yes, a lot of people. The Frankenstein is a lot of people's number one. But myself, I love the striped Kramers. Anything different, anything, anytime you see like that one, like there was one recently. Let me show it. There was one. Let me find the picture.
Talking about the one with Ed and Sammy was holding it.
There's that one. Okay, I'll show that real quick. Yeah, there's that one, which I've always loved that one as well. That's the one that's on here.
Yeah.
I've always known that from this.
Yep.
That's that Kramer.
And somewhere there's another picture from that same photo shoot where the actual 1984 is laying on the floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wolfgang's guitar.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. Now, at first glance, someone would look at that. At first glance, when you think that's the 1984 Kramer, and it's not. It's got a very similar striping pattern to it, but it's not. Because two things. One, the striping pattern is a little bit different. The headstock shape is a little different. It's skinnier and narrower. And
it's like that's like a Japanese Focus headstock.
It does, doesn't it? Yes.
The real small, the small banana. See, now we're getting nerdy.
Now we're getting real nerdy. And it has a pickup. It has a pickup ring on it, which Eddie never liked on his guitars. He never liked pickup rings.
It has a chrome pickup ring, but it looks black. It makes it look black. And then the pole pieces, it has like gold pole pieces on like the bottom coil.
Yeah.
I actually have a poster from this. They're two different photo shoots, but they're very similar.
Yeah.
They might be the same photo shoot because it was the only time you ever saw that guitar.
Yeah.
But actually, I have a huge poster of this shot here, but like a different shot, and you can really see that guitar in the poster.
Yeah.
Somebody remind me, and I'll show that one of these times. But
I always love that yellow. Yellow Hagar guitar, and that's before the OU812 was put on it.
The Beretta. Yeah,
great guitar. That's actually one of these days I've always wanted to do a replica of that guitar. You have to get a red pickup. I think it has red Floyd on it. It's really, really cool. It's very unique.
Where's that other? I was going to show. I will not get another guitar. Who tagged me on that?
That's funny. That picture right there, Johnny, is your guitar.
Yeah. There's a close up of my guitar. I did a picture with guitar pics with myself, Caleb, and Jay, Gizmachi, Nerd Halen. I took that picture. But there's another guitar. Here, let me stop screen share, and then I'll find it. Because this is me tagged and stuff, and so who knows what's going to show up, Okay, here it is. You never know. When people tag you and stuff, you never know.
Yeah, it could be anything.
Here we go. And yeah, let me know how you're doing. I know you had said maybe an hour.
Yeah, we can go another few minutes, maybe 10 minutes. I'm good.
We're at 120.
Yeah.
Here's one. Supposedly, this was a gift to a restaurant, an oyster bar, or something. Mancuda was reading about it this one day. You saw that one, right?
Oh yeah. That's apparently the Kramer that Matt Bruck and Eddie built. Now, I don't have this information. It's not verified, so I don't even like saying it because I don't want people to think that this is the truth. But I think, and this is my opinion, I believe that guitar was built towards the beginning of Edward and Matt Bruck's relationship. Now, Edward used to play golf with Matt in 1990, 91. And around 90, 91 is when Matt started kind of hanging out with Edward and he became his guitar tech and all that. Now, around the 90, 91 era, that's when Eddie obviously went with Music Man. And the Kramers were still kind of floating around, and Eddie was still playing his 5150. I mean, apparently, he used the 5150 to record Judgment Day. That was, as far as we know, the last known recording of Judgment Day with the 5150. Mm-hmm. However, I'm pretty, and I can't really discuss where I heard it from, and it's not verified. But possibly, I believe that guitar was definitely built by Matt Bruck and Eddie. They put it together and painted it. But that was, I think, probably towards the beginning of the Music Man days, towards the end of the Kramer days, around probably 1990. Something that Edward and Matt did together. And they used, some striped body that was probably laying around 5150, and they built it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and supposedly, I think it was given to like a restaurant, or that's where it lived. Like an oyster bar. Mancuda read about it when we did the story on a Tuesday, probably a few weeks ago or something.
I love how it's got that angled stripe on the top.
That's who it's autographed to, though. Is which stripe?
On the top, you can see that kind of half moon, kind of thin stripe. It kind of arcs down and then goes straight. Very rarely did you see a white stripe on a Kramer guitar. You saw some of that stuff like on the Star guitar, but on the striped Kramers, the Kramers, not the Frankenstrat, because the Frankenstrat has some arced stripes too. But very rarely did you see a Kramer that had a white stripe that angled like that. That wasn't straight, I guess is what I'm saying. It's kind of rare to see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's the stuff that I love, is the stuff like this. The stuff, the more rare striping patterns and paint jobs and
that guitar is a very oddly striped, not odd, but it's a much different stripe pattern. It's not a 5150 or an 84 type look. It's very different.
You know what tells me that the guitar was built? I think it was built. It was built. I think it was another giveaway. Like, obviously it was given away, but me thinking that the guitar was just kind of put together was that Floyd on there. That looks like a Floyd Rose 2. The one where you don't cut the ends off.
Oh, right. Yeah. There's the ball goes in the ends. Yeah.
The ends go through the, Well, I wasn't going to say ball, but you can't say ball on here.
You can't say ball.
Except Ernie Ball. You can say Ernie Ball.
I actually have one of those Floyd Roses right here, as a matter of fact.
Did you just take it out of the trash?
That's it right there. Floyd Rose 2. And you can tell in the end, it's the saddles don't lock.
Right.
The ball goes right in. You can't say that. Goes right in the end here, and then just goes through, which is kind of an ingenious idea, really, because you don't have to cut the ends off.
Except the thing doesn't stay in tune.
No, they don't.
It doesn't stay in tune at all. And I wouldn't see Edward using one of those. That's why when I see that on that guitar, it's like, okay, that was built. That wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I used to put Kramers together years ago, and Johnny B guitars say F2 sucks. Yeah. I bought one of those one time, and then I put it on the guitar, and then I took it off because it just didn't stay in tune. Didn't stay in tune at all.
Yeah, because those balls on the end of the strings, they can pull and they get loose.
It stretches. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no locking. There's no locking on that side of it.
Right.
That's why you call the original ones double locking.
Right.
And those are the ones that stay in tune.
Yep. Yeah, these are pretty. I mean, they're neat to have. I mean, like I said, this is just an extra spare that I've had, laying around. I have no plans to use it on anything, but for exactly the reason Johnny said. But it is interesting to have one, just for collector's purposes, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think I have any of those on any of my guitars either. Because all my guitars I have, on my Van Halen guitars, they're all. I try to make them as exact as I can. So all my Floyds are, going to be original German Floyds or whatever Eddie, is close to what Ed had on his that I can possibly get. So.
Yeah. Yeah. And then somebody in the chat, I just saw, you said, show a picture of David Lee Roth. Do you have any pictures of Roth? I don't have any.
Yeah. David Lee who?
Let me see. Let me see if I can find one. I'm not finding one because I generally don't post pictures of Roth on my EVH fan page. Oh, okay, here's one. I just found one. Here's one. I'll show this. And again, if you're brand new, leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you like Van Halen. We love Van Halen. We talk about Van Halen all the time. So if you would like to enjoy more of this, make sure you subscribe and you're tuned in with us. There we go. There we go. Queen Radiant. Nobody cooler than Roth. I think they just said, yeah.
Especially in that outfit.
And the reason
Hot for Teacher guitar.
Yeah, that's the only reason I posted this picture is because Eddie's playing a different guitar than normal.
Yeah. And then the Hot for Teacher, as we know, was on the '84 tour. It did go on tour, but there's not it was actually
that's where that was.
Rare for him to play it, actually. There's a few pics of him playing it, but it was rare for him to play it. It usually it was either the 5150 or the 1984 that he would play, typically.
Yeah.
But it did, but it was along the tour, and it did make appearances, obviously, because there it is.
There it is. Yeah, and it was in the music video.
Yeah,
that's why it's called the Hot for Teacher, is because it was in that video. That's where you saw it.
I don't think that guitar ever. I would love to know when that guitar finally went into private hands. If it was right after the 5150 tour. I would say it wasn't too. I mean, it's not the 5150, 1984 tour, because it's interesting. That was one of his main Kramers. I mean, there's pictures. The Johnny just sent a. Remember the picture, Johnny, of Ed in the red suit sitting in a hotel room playing it too. I
just passed by that picture.
Yeah, that's another great picture. I think that for whatever reason, like I said, that guitar never made it to 5150, the tour. As far as we know, I mean, it could have been back in the studio, hard to say. But he had all those backup 5150s for the 5150 tour and the 1984. You never saw the Hot for Teacher. So I'm thinking that the Hot for Teacher probably left Eddie's hands somewhere between 84 and 86. I would imagine. I'm not sure. It's kind of actually rare to see a guitar that Eddie took on tour that was one of his main Kramers. All of a sudden, he's not playing anymore. He's got a bunch of other ones.
And actually, this isn't that picture, but excuse me.
Verp.
I haven't eaten today, so
I haven't either. I'm starving.
You know how it is.
I know.
Rob and we've been doing these shows for like 5 or 6 years. 5 or 6 years we've been doing these things. And
we never eat anything.
And it's always like, oh, I didn't eat today.
Yeah, I know.
Anybody that's been watching us for years, you'll remember. Okay, so that's not the same picture. It's the same suit.
Yeah.
It's the same suit, but
yeah.
And
there's there's the '84 Kramer. The guitar that Wolfgang talked about today, 1984. That's the guitar. Just got a different neck on it. It has the original 2-star neck.
That one right there.
Yep.
There it is.
Such a cool guitar. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I've always had a soft spot for those striped Kramers. I mean, it's just something about them. I mean, obviously the 5150 is the best in my opinion. It's the coolest one, and the 1984 probably comes in second. But they're just, I don't know. There's something about those striped Kramers. They just have a mojo about them that's just, I don't know. They're just, and not to take anything away from the Frankenstrat or the B or the Star. I mean, any of those guitars, they're all awesome, and I love them all, and love to collect them. But something about the striped Kramers, just they've always had that hit that sweet spot for me.
Same here. Same here. Hey, Chad, good to see you. The Chad.
What's up, Chad?
Good to see you, man. Good to see everybody in here. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Edwin, you're looking through your February '90 Guitar World. Yeah, that's one of the classics.
Yep.
With that
Great
David
mag.
Bertinelli centerfold.
Great mag.
Not of David Bertinelli, the guitars.
Yeah, it's got the David Bertinelli. He wasn't wearing any pants. No.
It was cool to hear. Yeah, I've got David on Facebook, and it was cool to hear today how Wolfgang was saying how he's very close to his uncles.
Yeah. Howard was asking him. He says, "Do you have anybody like coming out of the woodwork, like family members, and Wolfgang's like, yeah, not really too much yet, but he's like, and I'm sure eventually we'll have, Dwight Van Halen, long lost uncle.
Derek. It's a Derek. That, hey, do you know a Derek? There's a Derek Van Halen all of a sudden calling, or hey, do you know Ernie Bertinelli? Like somebody, like all these Bertinellis and Van Halens are going to be coming out of woodwork now.
Ernie Sterling Van Halen. Yeah.
So Bertinelli. Yeah, it's awesome how Wolfgang how he deals with the trolls on Twitter. I see it every day.
Yeah,
and
he's a class act though. He handles it with grace and style. He really does. He's such a good, he's such a good dude. And it's a shame when you get trolls, that do that. I mean, it's funny. I mean, I posted something on actually. I waited until I saw it getting posted up on Facebook before I did it because I didn't want to, I didn't want to overstep my bounds. But once I saw the video was being posted, I ended up sharing it to my Facebook page. And, it's like 10 minutes into it, somebody writes a comment and says something like, "Oh, good music, but no way is that Wolfgang singing." And it's just like, dude, what did you people not listen to the interview? I mean, what is the matter with people? I mean, it's just like, gosh sakes, unbelievable. And that's just from what we see. Can you even imagine what Wolfgang hears? I mean, it's got to be just maddening, the nonsense that he has to listen to and deal with.
Nonstop. But like he said, though, he's been dealing with that for his whole life.
Oh yeah.
And
he deals with it very well.
Yeah. Yeah, he just jokes, makes jokes, about the stuff and
And and the other thing too is, like Wolfgang said, so many people, hey, what's going on, with your album, whatever, this and that. And he's like, if you only knew, it's like everybody, nobody really, we knew, I mean, Johnny and I and a bunch of other people, we kind of knew there was stuff going on that wasn't good. And we didn't know the details maybe per se, but we kind of knew what was happening over the last few years in a sense. But, like Wolfgang said, if most of these people had any clue what we were dealing with, they would certainly understand why there's been so much silence over the last number of years.
Mm-hmm. And the stops and the starts with his record.
Right.
That's what he had said.
Yep.
When things looked good,
he put a teaser out.
Things are moving forward, and then when things, when bad things, were happening.
I thought it was really awesome that Wolfgang, said, 2017, they basically gave Ed 6 weeks to live. and he started doing the treatments over in Germany. And Wolfgang didn't get into too much details, probably because he can't. But what they were doing in Germany to deal with Ed's condition ended up getting him 3 more years. And so he got to spend 3 more years with his dad, and vice versa, thanks to, the trips to Germany for the treatments. So I thought that was pretty cool, pretty cool to hear.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Definitely.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. For those of you guys that have not heard the interview, I'm sure it's going to be, blasted all over the internet. So you just get online and you'll see it. Go on YouTube and type in Mammoth, Wolfgang Van Halen, The Distance, and you'll see the video. And I'm sure there's going to be so much more stuff coming out. And check out the Howard Stern interview. Just a really, really, really great interview. And again, I mean, it was done with a lot of taste. It was very tastefully done, and Wolfgang addressed so many things, that we kind of maybe suspected or didn't know, or just it definitely, as a Van Halen fan, that's definitely an interview you definitely want to check out. Definitely check out those 2 songs because they're pretty special. They're
great. They're great. And yeah. And the Stern interview is on YouTube. Somebody did put it up, the entire thing, like the Chad, it was you, right? Somebody was, I get messages nonstop. I get trolled nonstop as well.
Oh yeah.
Not as much. Actually, I would invite trolls. I would invite them. Very much invite them especially to subscribe to this channel.
Especially the short little fat ones that hide under the bridges. They're cute. Yeah. They're kind of cute.
But hey, so yeah, here's Wolfgang's website, Mammoth WVH. That is the name of his band, and there is a band. It actually is a band. They were actually rehearsing right before everything, went down several months back. But so there is a full band. And Morton, where can we watch the full video interview? That's not available yet. If it does become available, if anybody hears about it, let us know, definitely.
Yeah, because we want to see that 84 Kramer.
Because we want to see it. But hey, so yeah, this website's been updated since last night. There's the music video. Right there. It's on the site. Right there. And then there's Wolfgang has t-shirts. There's one with the Mammoth logo, one with the Distance logo.
Yeah, I definitely got to get one of those.
My friend Michael Gutierrez told me he already bought a t-shirt. And then, of course, the Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation. All the proceeds from this project, from that song, from the music video, everything is going towards that. Wolfgang isn't making anything off this record. It's all going towards the Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation, which Edward was a huge supporter of. And if you remember back several years ago, Eddie gave the LA schools all those Wolfgang guitars.
Yeah.
That was through this foundation.
Yep. There was a whole bunch of PV Wolfgang guitars. It was really, really, really awesome. That's such an awesome thing to be able to do, That's special.
So yeah, check out the video if you have not seen it. And like I said, I heard the song last night. I bought the song last night off iTunes, and there wasn't a video yet. The video made its debut today. And I kind of suspected that there might be a music video with footage, which is what came out. But a lot of people though on Facebook and a lot I'm hearing, because I run that Van Halen group, and there it is, 74 to 2020, and a lot of people that their first exposure to that song was through that music video.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of people today that it was just very difficult you know, seeing that footage with that song.
That was definitely a real tearjerker. Like I said earlier, it's just, you know, oh man. I mean, and I heard the song too, and then when I saw the video after, it was just like, it really, boy, it just showed you how close those two were. You know, I mean, really brought it into perspective. So I mean, such a special, special video that any father or son would be so proud. You know, to say that they had a relationship with a parent like that. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I mean, I literally cried. I mean, I was teared up at watching that. It was that special. And then, like I said, at the end, you know, where the song fades out, it's got Ed leaving a voicemail to Wolfgang. It could be any time within, you know, I mean, it could be recent. It could be 10 years old. I mean, we don't know, but basically, you know, just saying, just wanted to, you know, call me when you get a chance. Just want to hear your voice. Love you so much. Bye. You know, it's just like so powerful, you know.
Judging by the sequence of that video, it all went in sequence
You think, Johnny, maybe that
over the years.
You think maybe that was really recent then, maybe?
I think it could have been.
Well, actually, you know, it could be, because maybe, didn't he say that, you know, he lives on his own now? Well, obviously he does, but I mean, maybe he wasn't living at the house, so maybe it was, you know, somewhat recent, so to speak. Not that we don't know how long, you know, he's been not living at 5150, but I'm sure it's been a while. But yeah, very, very well could be. Maybe that, yeah. Never thought of that, actually, until you just mentioned that.
The whole thing is in the sequence.
Yeah.
But there's Wolfgang's, there's a site. That's where you want to go. You can see the video. You can order a T-shirt. You can donate. Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation. MammothWVH.com. There you go. So, man.
Powerful stuff, man. Powerful stuff. But good stuff, but really good stuff. And, you know, song like that, Wolfgang made, last thing I'll say, you know, Howard asked Wolfgang if he was a religious person, you know, and Wolfgang said, well, not really, but he said, you know, it's kind of like to think that I can, you know, be in my car and still kind of talk to my dad. And, yeah. Pretty powerful stuff, you know.
Yeah, I remember that part. Yeah.
It's just awesome. Just awesome stuff.
Yes. Yes. Man. All right, before Rob and I start crying, I think we're going to go. You guys don't want to see us crying on here.
I mean, honestly, though, I mean, like, you know, we're kind of joking about that, but I mean, at the same time, you know, yeah, it was very emotional, and there's really not much more you can say about it. I mean, just check out the video and get your own drift from it. Cause I mean, it's as Sammy Hagar always said, you know, what is understood need not be discussed, you know, and right here, right now thing, you know, it's pretty powerful. It's just, you know, listening to that song and watching the video pretty much just says everything. Johnny and I just wanted to come on and just give you our thoughts of it. But if you haven't seen it, check it out, because it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yes, check it out. Check it out. And it was great to hear Wolfgang. See, we're going to be on here for another 3 hours. It was great. It was great to hear Wolfgang say how Sammy had reconnected, and Sammy and Eddie had been texting for like a couple months.
Yeah, that was so awesome.
You know?
That just put such a huge smile on my face. I mean, Sammy said it a couple of weeks ago. I think we kind of heard it, which again put a big smile on my face. But to hear it from Wolfgang, because he saw everything that was happening between everything, you know.
To hear all this stuff from Wolfgang just made everything connect. Like everything was.
Yeah.
It would be amazing now that all the Roth versus Hagar just vanishes. You know, all that's just gone now.
I don't think it will. You're still going to have those fans, you know, not necessarily the hardcore. Any of the hardcore fans like us, we may have something that we prefer for an era, but we still appreciate and love all of it, you know, no matter what. It's mostly the hardcore fans, or it's mostly the people that aren't really guitar people like us, but they're Van Halen, you know, fans, but they don't really appreciate the whole band. you know, like what we did, you know, or do. I mean, we love every part of Van Halen. I mean, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of the Sharon era, but I still love it and I still listen to it, and it still has its high points. And you know, and again, to hear Wolfgang say that, yeah, Sharon was even going to be on board with that tour, that is so awesome. That, you know, Sharon could have come out and sang "Fire in the Hole" or "Without You" or something, you know, and then Hagar would be there and maybe Roth. I mean, that was so powerful to hear that that was actually in the works.
Yeah.
That's just so cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing.
Awesome stuff.
Awesomes. All right. We're going to split. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching, for tuning in.
Yeah.
Again, if you're a Van Halen fan, you know, this is the place you want to be. Johnny Beane TV. Make sure you subscribe. Leave a thumbs up. We're at 85 thumbs ups. Let's see if we can get to 100 thumbs ups before we leave, because we got 130 people watching on YouTube.
Give a thumbs up, guys.
Leave a thumbs up. We just need 15 more. That's all we need.
And yeah, and check out my Instagram and Facebook. You know, we got a whole bunch of guitar stuff and some neat stuff. So,
what's your thing? I do have you set up in Nightbot. Oh, here we go.
My Instagram is RobCJ5150, and you guys can follow me if you want, if you don't already or whatever. And it's not all Van Halen stuff, but there's definitely a ton of guitar stuff. I got some little videos of me playing some Van Halen riffs and stuff, and a bunch of my striped guitars and stuff in my collection, and yeah, some cool stuff. And yeah, and my YouTube page, yeah, I do videos as well, and yeah, and I just want to thank Johnny for having me on tonight. We just thought it'd be kind of cool to jump on and talk about this, because it's a pretty big day for Van Halen fans to hear that. I mean, that's pretty huge. I mean, not only was it huge to see what I'm getting requests to follow me already right now on Instagram, so that's awesome, guys. I'll jump.
Well, hey, follow me too.
Yeah, I'll jump right on as soon as we get off, and I'll yeah, right. And I'll
follow my Instagram as well, please. Where's mine? Let me. How come we didn't do this earlier?
I know, right?
Where's mine? Well, it says mine right here. Oh, is yours private? Did they have to request you? Is that why you saw that?
The only reason I had to privatize it, and I never used to have it private, was because of my
job
now. My job kind of. They kind of look down on social.
Well, you don't have to mention that.
But no, but anybody, like I said, anybody that I see as a Van Halen fan, or anybody that is, not a troll or anything like that, I approve everybody. I always do, and I will continue to. So, but today, what we heard, like we said, is just, as Van Halen fans, that was huge. I mean, there's so much information that Wolfgang clarified and talked about, and it just, losing Edward was very difficult, but at the same time, hearing the information that his son said today was definitely awesome. Some really, 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 really cool stuff.
Yes.
Well, we keep saying that. I mean, we keep repeating ourselves on it, I guess, but it's awesome.
It's amazing, and it's there's going to be so much more. There's going to be so much more. So.
Oh yeah. It's as Edward would always say, it's the tip of the ice cube. When do we get to the iceberg? Ed would always say that, Van Halen, the band, touring wise, probably never going to happen again, probably. But the Van Halen legacy is not dead. It is going to live on, and it's gonna be huge, man. We us as fans still have a lot of cool stuff to look forward to, I believe.
Oh yes, totally. All right, and there's my Instagram right there. So, also follow me on TikTok too. I need 1,000 followers on TikTok so I can go live over there. I'm everywhere. Just Google Johnny Beane. Google my name, and like I said, if you're a troll, bring it on. I'll welcome the trolls. But don't go after Rob, because he's serious.
Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah.
And don't even mention it. But Rob's serious. I've seen Rob. I mean, he's got. All right. All right, rock on, everybody, and don't hang up yet. Just don't hang up yet, Rob.
No, I won't.
We'll say goodbye. Let's say so. Tomorrow night, Tuesday, right? Today is Clayton James Hicks, 1998 Hicks. It usually says it's Music Man Monday. It's Mammoth WVH Monday.
What's up, Clayton? Mammoth
From now
Monday.
on, that's what it is. It's Mammoth Monday, Mammoth WVH Monday. That's what it is from now on. Tomorrow night is Talking Guitars and 80s Metal Live with John Mancuda and Neanderthal. Looks like that.
Yeah.
So come back tomorrow night, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. And like I said, we'll continue talking about Wolfgang and today. There'll be a lot of that discussion tomorrow. And again, on Friday, there'll be, of course, more of that. And it might look something like that, maybe. With Jay Hannon.
Jay Hannon. He'll have something cool to show you guys.
Talking Van Halen. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And then Saturday night, you guys can tell we like Van Halen a lot. Saturday Night Live with a whole bunch of people. I think they look like this.
The Beane Bunch.
The Beane Bunch.
That's awesome.
With John BL. Saturday nights. So join us Saturdays as well. Just subscribe to the channel, and there'll be a lot of stuff, a lot of Van Halen. We love it. 100 watching, 102 thumbs ups. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Awesome, guys. Awesome.
And we're never going to get out of here. Follow Wolfgang, Mammoth WVH.
Yes.
Make sure you follow him. There's the song, there's the video, there's his logo. There you go. There you go. And he'll be on the Today Show tomorrow. So, all right, we're out of here. Actually, what am I doing? This is a real show. Let me say thank you to our channel members. We've got 1 million channel members here on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And again, if you want to be a channel member here on YouTube, there's a join button below. Bonus content. A lot of extra stuff behind the scenes. So join. All right. See you guys tomorrow night. I'll do this one. All right.
And I will see you guys soon. I will see you all soon.
All right. Good talking to you, Rob.
You too, Johnny.
All right. Good night, everybody. Johnny Beane
guys.
TV.
Thanks for watching.
Good night.